Welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, Reiki master, as well as medicine woman. And on this channel, I go over all things moon related, medicine, healing, plant medicine, so much more to help you with your shadow work. In today's video, we're going to be going over what you need to know about this Cancer full moon, our first full moon of 2023, and it's a big one. But we're having a Cancer full moon on January 6, 2023. It's the first one. So today in this video, I'm going to be going over what you need to know about this Cancer full moon, and I'm just really looking forward to get into it. So before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bell so you don't miss the video. And if you're on here, why not be part of the fam? Be part of the family, be part of the community. And even better, if you feel called to enjoy this community and this healing and be in this holding as much as I do, I invite you to apply for the retreats. My 2023 retreat calendar is now out. I have 6 retreats that I'm hosting, medicine retreats, and I would love to see you there and hold you in your healing. So you can go find all that information down below. I also have some courses and yeah, all the things. Let's get into this video. I hope you guys can hear me well because they're currently doing some construction outside, and we're just gonna manifest that it just like does not irritate the vibes of the whole space. So the first thing we need to know about this Cancer full moon is that emotions rise around what new ventures and new beginnings are being called to focus on at this time. So we just recently during the holidays had a new moon in Capricorn, and that Capricorn new moon was really about manifesting. We also had the solstice, the winter solstice, which was really resetting and allowing us to cut whatever cords we needed to from last year. So now being in this present moment with this Cancer full moon on January 6, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days is asking, is for us to really tune into these emotions that are coming up as we start to see them come into fruition. It's almost like some of us are sensing a sense of fear, but nervousness. I don't even want to say fear, nervousness of all the changes that are happening. And I know it's overwhelming. Some of you have ended a relationship maybe during the holiday seasons, or maybe you were brought with the grief of a passing of someone, or someone passed away. Whatever this, current season has brought you to kind of clear, it's now seeing space. It's almost like seeing a piece of land that you just purchased and you're like trying to envision what you want to create on this land. That's kind of what your soul is going through. It's like there's this land in your soul of so much space, so much newness, and it's bringing up emotions. For some of you, you're excited, you're looking forward to it, you're celebrating, you feel free. And for others, you feel kind of nervous because you're really stepping deeply into the unknown. We have a lot of cards here, guys, so we're just gonna pull them all out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, which is a deep number. Any 7s? Is 7 your special number? Let me know. I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, abundance. Oh my God. Okay, so if 8's your number. So the first card that comes up is Trader. So exchange energy and create abundance. So what Spirit's telling you here with this card is that you are really being called to tune into what relationships and what opportunities that you want to call in for Spirit to support you on the new adventures and the emotions that are coming in. So these emotions are actually supporting you. Protection Guardian, so drop your shield. Some of you are just going and just blocking these emotions because you're like, well, I've cried so much, I've gone through so much, I've laughed so much, I've done all this. You're suppressing something here, and this is actually what's going to unlock this bigger perspective that you need. So here, this card is really saying, what are you holding back from? What emotion are you not comfortable embracing? And knowing that usually that emotion is something that helps us move forward into a deeper realm of our magic, and can actually help us with these new ventures as well and our manifestations. The next card we have is the Shield Maiden. So make plans and focus, which I think this is a great time to go over the next thing that you need to know about this Cancer full moon on January 6th, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, is that focus on yourself, meeting your manifestation and the emotion of law of attraction and law of cause. So law of attraction is what you are is what you attract, right? So if you hold fears, if you hold whatever whatever it is, or if you hold excitement, if you hold abundance codes, whatever you're thinking, seeing, and feeling, what you're embracing in your energetic field, in your spirit, and your human, is what you attract. And sometimes this is where it gets tricky, and why shadow work is so important is because when we do the healing, we can actually tune and see a deeper perspective of things that we're holding on to that actually has a huge impact on our decisions, and we're not even aware of it. So here it's really saying with the law of attraction, really focusing on your emotions, because there are some emotions that are attracting your outcome that you're seeing deeper 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after with this Cancer full moon. Remember, Cancer is a very sensitive, and sensitive, I don't say that in a bad way, but sensitive is beautiful. I think they're very in tune. They're so in tune emotionally, and they're really great, like motherly, holding beings. But with that, they also forget to think about themselves. They forget about claiming things on themselves and feeling loved enough to receive what they manifested. And I think that's a huge thing with this Cancer full moon, is like really letting that go. Whatever self-sabotaging thought or someone that has told you that you're not good enough for something, it's like we're letting that go. Law of cause is where we're saying law of cause is what happens in our life is what we think will happen. And that's on such a deeper level, right? So for example, if we think that we have less money, we speak those words and intentions into this space, then we're creating a cause of something to manifest in itself. So here it's like focusing on your emotions meeting your manifestation. Is your emotion in alignment with what you want to manifest? What you talked about for this past Capricorn new moon and going into the new year, and just as the last couple weeks, like all the things you're thinking of wanting to bring in, does it reflect the emotional intelligence that is here within your being and your soul? And it is so open with so many codes in there. And this brings me to the shapeshifter, which I think is a really good card for this point, is transform and unveil your gifts. So it's really just saying that your gifts, the gift and the emotion that someone told you to suppress, or someone said you're too much of, or you said that, or maybe makes you feel uncomfortable to express that, is your ability to shift into something deeper. And I love the shapeshifter because this really tells us that we can adapt to our circumstances. We can adapt to the journey of our manifestation. The journey of our manifestation is ebbs and flows. It's not supposed to be this space where actually it is supposed to be, but it's not supposed to be a place of resistance. It's supposed to be a place where we feel comfortable to fully embody what we want to bring in. But why are you telling yourself that it has to be hard? What part of you has told you have to struggle to receive the manifestation you want? A lot of you have been taught that you have to work harder for something. And it's not about working harder, it's about being more efficient and then putting that energy and that efficiency in where you need to. And this is why the shapeshifter is telling you your gifts, whether they are, seeing or clairaudient or any metaphysical gifts, but then also just gifts of who you are and your personality, is one of the most powerful things that is going to support you on a rebirth to a rebirth to a rebirth to a new beginning that you are creating. So again, don't suppress that. The third thing you need to know about this Cancer full moon on January 6, 2023 is winter tends to be the time of seasonal sadness, seasonal grieving. And some of you might be on the latter half of just like getting yourself out of that. So around this time, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, we are prone to maybe having a little bit more melatonin, a little bit more of that lower energy. And what Spirit is telling you is ask yourself, how can you reframe the energy of winter? Winter is hibernation, but with the cold air of breathing in winter, it brings us clarity. It opens us up to air. And that element of air is like listening, trusting, being with our gifts, being with the Spirit, being with our guides, connecting with that deeper. So what part of the winter, time of this stillness and this interception of our emotions, which is what the Cancer full moon is all about, interception of the winter season and what that means to us, what is bringing out of us for us to create. So then when spring and summer comes, we are ready to harvest. So it's really just getting us prepared for that time. Bring yourself to walk outside and understand the emotional connection. So a great practice, actually, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, is actually to get yourself outside. If you are somewhere cold, this is really great because you'll actually feel it in the sense of that emotion. But even just like winter, this time is the winter energy for all of us. Go outside, breathing the cold air and putting the intention for the winter air to help and support you with clarity. And this is what's going to really help you, because Mother Earth truly does want to support you. Grandmother, full moon wants to help you, nurture you, and hold you. And there's something so beautiful about hibernating and how the animals hibernate underneath the earth when it's snowing. And there's so much liveliness in hibernation. There's so much alive in hibernation. And if we can take a moment to pause, which came up in a video today that I looked on Instagram, and it just really goes with this Cancer full moon, that moment when we stop working, when we stop overdoing, when we stop analyzing things, is the moment when we can meet a part of ourselves, when we can meet our partners, our soulmates, our twin flames, when we can meet that idea to help us bring abundance and be taken care of, for us to meet our purpose, whatever that new seeding and beginning is that you seeded for this Capricorn new moon. This is where the winter is going to actually help you. This Cancer full moon is telling you to slow down, in the sense of energetically, like slowing down to be with your emotions during this season, so then you can gain clarity to help manifest your things on a more divine path, on a more divine, or if human, timely path. But remember, time doesn't really exist, right? So the other card that you guys got, it has the owl as well, is trust your higher forces. So again, a lot of you just needing to trust your emotions, trusting your process again. And sometimes when we're in that space where we feel like we're in a rut emotionally, that we feel like we just want to give up. And I always say, when we're in these moments of giving up, that's actually the most powerful time, because this is when we can actually receive what we've been asking for. But again, you need to believe in that. So know, like, what can I praise in this grief and of the winter, of Mother Earth shedding, of Mother Earth just being in this time of almost death. And in this death, she is starting to create her seeds. Her seeds are still underneath the snow. Her seeds are still ready to be seeded. But yet she waits until all the snow melts to then allow all those seeds, all these trees to grow. So allow yourself to know and trust in divine timing. These things will happen. But what can you do right now in your energy to focus on putting those emotions out there and creating a compound emotional expansion? That's huge. Compound emotional expansion basically means, like, if every day, if I were able to show up to my manifestation the best way I could, imagine how all of that compound interest of energy can just explode the moment that, my business takes off, the moment that I find that soulmate and I'm in a space that I've done the healing and now I'm here, the moment that I find that pregnancy is positive and I'm like, oh, I finally had this child after all the things I've gone through and all the emotions I've gone through. This child is here. And some of you are actually on this path this year for a miracle baby. Some of you have been having a lot of maybe troubles giving birth. I don't know why this came up, but it did. Maybe having troubles of having a child. And now is like you get an opportunity to shift your perspective and start a new beginning. And this is a great time to do womb and sacral healing and clearings. So if you want to clear anything, for example, clearing an ex-partner, or if that hasn't been done from the winter solstice or the Capricorn new moon we just had, this is a time to do that. So clearing that energy. And a great way to do that is yoni steaming, and also just meditations where you're actually envisioning the energy and birthing that energy out. And then you can use the emotions that you've allowed yourself to learn from that lesson to manifest what you need to for that new life. Ooh, that's a deep one. Let me know if that resonates for some of you, but I do feel like some of you are going to have a baby. Like, it's a very fertile year for you. And it's specifically for those who have been really fully embodying a sense of home in their womb and their sacral and their hara. And this is also for those who maybe lost a baby or lost a baby in their lineage, and now it's like your womb has a lot of space now, so it's really creating. Also, a lot of you have some Capricorn energy placements that are going to be really effective and coming up in the next few months, which means that you're going to be more abundant. There's going to be more money coming to you, but then also with a more abundant energy that creates a more fertile opportunity as well. So I just want to share that. The other thing you need to know about this Cancer full moon on January 6, 2023, 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, is connection to star family, ancestors, guides, make you find a sense of home and community. So some of you feel a little out of place, maybe because you're starting to allow the world to see you and who you are. And I want to bring out the Knight card that just fell out. Be brave and honest. So even though you feel like you want to go back to those old relationships, those old patterns, just remember to be brave and honest. Hold yourself, anchor who you are and who you are becoming. Anchor who you are and who you are becoming. And what that means is that trust that being brave and showing up in your most authentic, raw self is going to help you find honest people. Remember, the only thing you need to do when you're manifesting from your emotion is be in your truth. When you decide to disregard or reject an emotion, you are also rejecting your manifestation. You are also rejecting a new beginning. You are also rejecting your freedom. All the things that you want in that manifestation, if you do not allow yourself to drop in, you are not allowing yourself to enter this energy. I also want to see that there's a balance of feminine and masculine cards coming up. So there's this like beautiful twine and message that's coming up for this Cancer full moon is knowing when to do and when not to do. I want to say that we're in Mercury retrograde. So this is not a time to sign contracts. This is not a time to make big decisions. This is not a time to go for a short-term little last-minute trip or vacation to travel somewhere. This is not the time. It ain't the time. But what I will say is that it is a time of planning it and to still manifest that energy and still put that out there and still allow that to attract and not allow the cycles of what's going on to dictate that you can't receive it due divine timing, right? A lot of you who've always felt disconnect, and I'm going to put my hand up because I feel this too. A lot of you that felt like you never really belonged. Ever feel that? Like you're a human with this family and you're like, I don't feel like I belong. I feel like there's another family out there for me. I feel like I've always talked to the stars, talked to the moons, talked to the trees. I had a different soul family maybe in this human life or something that's, more terrestrial kind of energy. That is really what you're feeling. So this feeling of us having more melatonin in our bodies around this time and feeling a little because of the winter, it's also making us feel like, where's home? What's home feel like for me? So during this Cancer full moon, it's asking us to connect with our star family. So when you're doing a meditation or you're doing your manifestation, call in your divine, benevolent star family ancestors and your soul family to come through. They're going to help and support you and let you know that you aren't alone. And this made a big difference for me because I remember feeling so alone in the journey, especially when we're starting to allow more of the world to see us, not for them, but for us, so we can feel seen and feel comfortable in our skin, in our human skin. But in doing that, it does come with this like spirit testing us, like bringing those people of these old patterns and stuff to test us if we're going to just go through the easy way out because we think it's easy out that way, not letting everyone see us, not allowing ourselves to be seen because it's too much work. But what if we were to just say, you know what, there is a community out there that can support me, and knowing that community is going to be a huge part for some of you for your manifestations. So just knowing what emotions are coming up and what type of people do you want to have around you to make you feel comfortable to embrace and express those emotions. Write down those types of relationships, what they feel like, what they look like. So because those are going to really help you, and then allow that to be connected on a metaphysical way with your divine guides and your ancestors and your star family as well. The other card I got here is Peacekeeper. Let go of being right, needing to be right. So again, some of you, this is a way that you bypass your emotions, is like you say, oh, this is what I know. Oh, this is like, I know this. You kind of use distraction or other ways to bypass every time you have an emotion come up. And again, I'm going to go back to the manifestation with law of attraction, law of cause. When we bypass an emotion, we are also setting ourselves to bypass a manifestation. We are setting, well, that's a deep one, bypass our manifestation that we want. What does that mean? We're rejecting it. We're just like, we don't want it. Oh, I want that thing. But then now, because I have to feel this emotion, let me just fill it up with TV and foods and like all the things and all the material things in the world that will help me just feel a little bit much more better, like essentially better, and just ignore everything that's here. That's not how it works. So the card that came up is the why. I love this card. So let go of being right. Why do you feel like you need to be right all the time? Why do you have to feel like the way you've done things is the way that it should be? And if you just keep showing up again, this is going back to my first point. Working harder doesn't mean allowing you to get your manifestation. Doing 10 types of manifestation methods doesn't mean you're going to get your manifestation quicker and faster. What it actually means is like this Cancer's full moon is essentially teaching us that through the law of cause and effect, through the law of attraction, we as beings are setting ourselves up for our why. Right? Our emotions tell us why we want to manifest something, why we feel sad, why we feel abandoned, those things that are coming up with this Cancer full moon, why we feel alone, like we don't have family. All these things are coming up and answering within us. And this brings me to the biggest point of this Cancer full moon and shadow work prompt. Get your paper and pen. Come on, get it. You got it? Okay. Write this down. What part of me doesn't feel fully at home in my human body? What's in your human body? Your soul and your spirit. So what part of you doesn't feel fully connected, fully at home? And this is what's going to help you, because behind that is an emotion. Behind that is a part of you that wants to share something, that it wants to manifest you. And it could be healing. It could be being seen. It could be a past life reconnection. It could be the ability for us to do womb work. It could be allowing a baby spirit that did not come to the human life to come past and to cross over. There's some deep channels here. So there's a lot of things happening, a lot of connection with inner child too. I'm seeing a bit. It's almost like this Cancer full moon is teaching you to reconnect with your inner child for some of you. And it might be hard to reconnect with that childlike wonder, that play-like wonder that Cancer wants us to do through our emotions if we've never really explored it. What if we could? What if we did allow ourselves to explore it? Would we feel more at home? Would we feel like we can finally connect with the community and the family and the soul family that we've been reaching for? The only thing that is making you feel alone is you hiding from the winter of your soul and your spirit. And during this Cancer full moon on January 6, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, is telling us that we need to stop hiding. Deep. We need to stop hiding. What are you hiding? This is what's going to come up, because the emotions is bringing that up to the surface. This could be something very deep part of you. Like, this is huge. But I will say, when you reframe the perspective of winter and what winter means to us, the definition of winter. And like I said, when we slow down, we can actually allow ourselves to manifest much quicker. It just makes so much sense. The last thing I want to share with you about this Cancer full moon, January 6, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after that will happen, is that, have I felt like I did not belong? And if so, is it time to let that go? Is it time to let that go? Have I felt like I did not belong to receive my manifestation? I'm not ready yet. I don't have everything sorted. I don't have this, this, and this. If that's your answer, then this is not your time to, this is not the time to allow yourself to reject who you are, is it? That's not fair to you. That is not fair to you. So, yeah, this is so deep. I want to share a couple plants that are really great for you guys to use during this full moon in Cancer on January 6, 2023. And I'm just sharing because this came up. So the first plant that I'm going to share with you that is really, really good is anything citrusy. So bergamot is really great for a scent to smell in the morning to help pick you up with that lower melatonin. Okay. Even just like receiving that more warmer scent, having that orange or bergamot in the house in a diffuser is really going to help you. Okay. Another great medicine and plant or just element is the sun. Getting yourself outside to feel the sun gazing on your third eye and just allowing yourself to eye gaze with your third eye like this. Feeling it on your third eye and asking the sun to clear whatever it needs to for 5 to 10 minutes a day, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, to maximize that. There's a duality of the sun and the moon with this Cancer full moon. The moon represents emotion, but then we also have to understand that our sun sign is who we are. It's like our being, right? So the emotion of who we are and our emotions of our being and our spirit go hand in hand. So allow your sun within you to help and support you through this transition. The last thing I would really support you doing is ritual baths, clearing baths, and I'm going to give you a little recipe that you can use for a bath, and this is a bath that you can do in a tub. Okay, so mugwort, my tongue, mugwort, some sage, as well as some My mind is there. It's just there. Some ginger. And if you want, this is only for those who feel like there's leaching energy, is garlic, but you don't have to put that in there. Some honey and any other plants that you feel called to, but those are the biggest ones, and rosemary. And what you're gonna do is boil it in a pot for 5 to 10 minutes, boiling it in a pot. Wait till it's done simmering, and then put your tub, make sure your tub's all ready to go. Pour the water into the tub. You're gonna smudge the tub with some sage or Palo Santo before you go, clearing and cleansing. Do this detox bath 1 to 3 times between the 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, and this will really help and support you. So I hope this was supportive for you guys. I hope you really enjoyed this Cancer full moon energy update for January 6th, 2023. Let me know down below what resonated with you, as I feel like I just went through a portal. I don't know if you guys felt it, but I feel like I'm in a portal. I'm currently recording this still in the Caribbean on the lands of my ancestors, so I feel like they're just giving me so much that's coming in. I might spontaneously post a card reading if there's more that comes in, but for now this is a lot, so just let that sink in. Let me know what resonated. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bell so you don't miss a video. I'll be posting an energy healing meditation for you guys soon for your ritual. And don't also forget that we have some medicine retreats. So if you feel called to be held and doing a medicine retreat, we have an inner child, ancestral, a goddess retreat, a masculine, wounded masculine retreat. Go check it out on my website down below, and you can apply there. I love you all so much. Happy Cancer full moon, and I'll see you in the next video.